All right, VYG, so we're back with a really hot question. And this has been asked to me so many times, especially by the guys in the VYG. And it is, am I allowed to use self-defense or violence in certain circumstances? Along those lines, that's the question. Now, first of all, let me already tell you outright, I'm not going to be talking about when we're dealing with persecution or when we're dealing with army and wars and so on, because there's just so many verses that cover that and they're very clear. But we are going to be dealing with those instances where you are facing a physical attack on a personal level. And that means, let's just give an example. This is the type of thing that I'm asked. Oh, Pastor, so let's say I'm on the street and a guy comes up to me and he grabs me and he starts to try to, a fight with me. What do I do, Pastor? Well, usually a verse like, if someone strikes you on the right cheek, turn the other one also, is one that is used by most Christians to say outright, listen, doesn't matter what is going on, just accept it, take it. But let me just give you some quick history on that. Now, in the past, the days of Jesus, usually the left hand would only be used for unclean purposes. So that meant for someone to strike you on the right cheek, the only way for them to do that would be by giving you a backhand. And let's be honest with you, even today, giving someone a backhand is very disrespectful. And so when you would turn the other cheek, so your left cheek to them, that was basically you saying, listen, treat me like an equal. If you're gonna hit me like a man. And you would have to hit the person now exactly as you would hit an equal. So either with an open hand or with your fist clenched. So that was more like a sign of, I'm your equal, or bring it on. If you remember the Matrix, that scene where Neo does that hand gesture, calling the agents to come and get him. So, okay. So what are you saying, Pastor, that if someone comes to attack me, I should tell them, come with more force, bring it on? Not necessarily. What I want to do is give you a very simple but very serious example. A few years ago, we were on a trip with VYG, and a youth brought me their mobile phone, and there was a video of two high school girls. They were having a little scuffle, and it seemed innocent enough. They're really small, looked around 14, 15 years old. I'm not going to give the link for that video because I don't really want you to be watching violent scenes. But they both fell to the ground. And one of them jumped up and was ready to continue with the fight. It was probably over a boy or something like that. And the other one didn't stand up. You know why? Because a simple playground scuffle led to one of them dying. And if you saw the way they fell, it seemed, like they would have been very minimal damage. But one of them actually died. And that's why, first of all, I'll already say right out, you shouldn't be looking for any opportunity to inflict physical harm on someone. And there are many references that will agree with that in the Bible. But then let's move on to self-defense. In most countries, including Fiji, where I'm at right now, self-defense is not illegal. You're allowed to defend yourself from an attacker. Defending yourself doesn't mean giving them uppercuts and pretending like you're Anthony Joshua. It doesn't mean that. Self-defense could literally be you blocking yourself, covering yourself, and finding the best opportunity to escape. Recently, a colleague of mine told me about an incident where a female member of the church was, being abused, and someone was coming towards them, threatening physical harm. That person was actually a male, much bigger than them. And it just so happens that pastor, that colleague of mine, is quite big. So he got in the middle and stood ready to take on whatever physical harm was meant for the member of the church who was behind him. And you know what? There was a bit of physical contact here and there. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Some other males from the church came and got involved. But the police commended them and actually stated that it was really impressive that they didn't go wild and were just trying to restrain and deal with that situation. So you just have to think. One of the old school questions that you get taught to ask yourself in tough instances like this is, what would Jesus do? And I'm not going to say to you that Jesus would either use physical contact or not. I don't want to be so, I would say, careless to just say that outright. But one thing I would say that Jesus always did, and you can check and see that for yourself, is that in every tough situation, he wants to prove a point and pass a message. He wants to lead people to be more godly. He wants to lead people to show an example that would lead to the most people being saved. He wants to cause an impact. And sometimes causing an impact may be, especially in a crowded environment, it may be you taking a couple of hits. And people are going to say, wow, that's crazy. That guy could have easily knocked out the other one. Why did he take all of that abuse? Sometimes, like in the case I just mentioned, you using some level of physical force may protect someone else. So I hope that answers the question. I can't just say to you outright yes or no. That would be irresponsible of me. But you have to look and search and make sure always, you're going to be doing something that's going to pass a positive message across and even lead to maybe your attacker turning over to God. If you have more questions about this, you want us to do a part 2 on this question and go a bit deeper, we can. I can even tell you about an incident that happened to me maybe about a month or so ago. It was the closest incident. I'm not going to say too much about that, but if you want to know more about it, leave a comment in the section and we can go deeper on this. But I really do hope it's answered your question. It's opened your mind and it's helped you see that it's not simply black and white. You have to really think and make sure you're not going to do something that's going to leave a negative impact on your own conscience and the conscience of those around you. So until next time, still please send in your messages, your questions, and apply these tips. And I'm sure soon you'll become the youth you were always meant to be. Take care.